the WrestleMania's ass to this ring. Give me a hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Back inside of a computer. I keep wanting to say back inside of a radio near you because that's what I used to say. I'm WB Ward.
Not Chip Douglas.
When we're back once again for SCI Wrestling in a computer. I guess we could be on somebody's radio, depending on how they have it set up.
In the car radio, possibly.
Possibly, yeah. That's right, because you know how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's how I used to listen to the shows all the time. Is just via Bluetooth in my car and listen to it on the way to work or something.
Oh,
absolutely.
So we might be in somebody's dashboard.
We very well could be.
Not
live though.
No, it wouldn't be live.
No,
it wouldn't be that.
So unlike NXT, which is live right now.
I know.
Which we just saw Finn Balor's entrance. First time for WB to see it.
Yes.
It was definitely awesome.
I got to give him cred. That was good. And I'm not a big fan of NXT.
No, you're not.
No.
For some odd reason.
Well, actually, I figured out. After watching NXT, and I gave it a good try, I'm going to continue sipping the juice of the wine, so to speak. You might recall some time ago, I told you what it was that I liked about professional wrestling, and it wasn't the wrestling.
Right.
It was the promos.
Okay.
NXT promos are weak in comparison to what I'm used to.
Are you serious?
The promos that I have seen have been
promos?
at best lackluster.
You mean like vocal promos or promos to build up a match?
Promos to build up a match, the wrestler interactions with each other, the backstage vignettes and things like that. They just didn't see the head.
We see on Monday nights.
Well, now granted, that hasn't exactly been Academy Award material as of late. I will grant you that, but it is still not up to the caliber of which I'm used to.
Right.
I mean, they are trying to hone these guys into the style in the ring, and to that they're doing a good job. And I think actually the microphone skills are something that take longer to develop.
It does. But I think a lot of it too is they're starting to find talent that's already existed that already can talk, or they kind of can. Kevin Owens is a prime example of that.
Okay, but after giving it some thought, that's what I think I've had. But I'm not walking away from the well. I'm still going to give it some good, honest shots. Are you ready with your tweet of the week?
Yes.
Well, I tell you what. Let me go ahead and tickle Lurch here and get him started.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Do it.
0.
What time is it, kids?
Hey!
Oh, there it is once again.
Back live in living color. Coming to you from the bowels of a radio around the world and up your alley. Here's Chip Douglas.
All right, this one. I had to say this one, and I know you're going to like this because you love... well, I'll just read it to you, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. This is something that you kind of look for when you watch TV, or especially when you listen to radio.
Boobies?
No. Oh. No. Here's a prime example. When people tell the time on the radio, don't you have a problem with that?
I do.
Okay. All right. So
I hate it when they say it's 25 minutes past the hour of.
Yeah. So it's kind of similar to that. Ooh. So WB Creative Humor, they did a tweet 24 minutes ago, actually. We just aired. Now remember, they're going from the perspective of the creative department of WB.
Okay.
We just aired a commercial to get you to sign up for the WB network. ... on the WWE network.
Yeah, it seems that's right out of their Department of Redundancy department.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's kind of like watching the Weather Channel nowadays. Anytime there's severe weather nearby, you actually see a slide that says, "We are interrupting our current programming to bring you weather coverage."
But yet, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
You've lost your way of your show's focus when you're pulling off comments like that.
Right.
But yeah, I got to, just the fact that they're using the words WWE creative, that in itself is enough to bring a bit of a chuckle.
It is.
Because you wonder, what the hell are they being creative about?
I don't know.
Because, it's funny, with the recent pay-per-view, the strong parts of the pay-per-view were not from wrestlers that WWE Creative was really pushing.
Right.
Like, for instance, Bray Wyatt And
Ryback.
the Ryback match. You know, that thing was just kind of teased about. By the way, you won the prediction on that.
Yep.
You said Wyatt, and Wyatt did win. They didn't really have a really good buildup. The reason why Wyatt was going after Ryback was at best murky. It was never really fully explained. And yet these two guys went out there, busted a nut, and did a hell of a job.
I thought they put on a good show. I've never been the biggest Ryback fan in the ring.
I've never seen Ryback come off the top rope.
No, never.
That was a new
That
one.
was kind of cool.
I really appreciate the laws of gravity now.
You should.
Yeah, that's got to. And can you imagine what that must look like from Bray Wyatt's
Oh my gosh.
perspective, to look up and see somebody the size of Ryback coming down from 8 feet above you?
If I had a bigger TV, I'd be scared.
Yes.
Seeing that big man jump off there, that was kind of frightening. It was almost like when Brock Lesnar did the shooting star press at the WrestleMania and basically almost break his neck. But yeah, it was a good little match. I'm really impressed. We'll see where it goes from there. I mean, obviously they haven't built anything for either one of them going into Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
I could have easily, well, except for Ryback, he's in the Intercontinental Chamber match, which I'm surprised White isn't in that. I figured they at least put him in that, but we'll see what happens.
Well, it's early yet.
Well, they got all the members already set.
Well, I mean, in the Elimination Chamber match, but in the Elimination Chamber card.
Yeah, right.
You know,
still be on the card, but I still think he should have been in that match.
And, you know, we just had a pay-per-view Sunday.
Right.
I mean, we just got through doing that, Payback. Then now we've got a pay-per-view coming up a week from Sunday.
Right.
Isn't that how soon it is?
Yes.
Okay. Just seems to be a little bit much. Now, before we start getting into that and looking at our predictions and stuff, let me kind of jump track on you here just a little bit.
Okay.
Former WWE superstars. See if you can spot what they all have in common. Chris Masters, Justin Gabriel, Shelton Benjamin, Brodus Clay, David Hart Smith, Scott Steiner, and Jim Duggan.
Oh, geez. I thought I knew where you're going there for a little bit.
Think in the terms of another former WWE superstar, Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, they're all on the roster for GSW.
Yeah, GFW. Yep, that they are all
GFW. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I just checked their roster page. These are all people who are on their roster.
And you forgot one.
That was all I noticed. Who did I miss?
Scott Hall.
Scott Hall? No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they just announced that about a day ago.
I can see this promotion really kind of make Vince McMahon sit up and take notice.
Yeah, exactly. It very well could. And they're bringing in a lot of independent talent, not just stars that have already been through the cycle. A lot of up-and-coming independent stars. And they're really, the whole point of Global Force is to get talent from around the world and to be able to really show what they can do and give guys that didn't get a fair shake another opportunity to shine in America. So, I mean, the first things first is you have to get a TV deal. So as soon as they get a TV deal, then we'll see what kind of steam they can have.
Well, until then, they've actually got a really good strategy going, because I looked at their venues coming up, and they're in some really good high traffic venues, which should generate a lot of public interest in them.
Right.
A lot of casinos. Now, I'm not talking about these little backwater casinos that are casino wannabes. I'm talking about some major casinos that they have shows already booked, in that you can already buy tickets that are several months down the road. So these people are not playing around. These people have some serious stroke. And of course, our friend Jimmy Hart has a big hand in this. And I think it's his mission to really give Vince McMahon as big of a headache as possible.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett's a great promoter. When it comes down to it, he's a great promoter. I hate when he promotes himself as far as puts the title on himself. That always bothers me. Yeah, because he always feels like he needs to be the one to put over stars, or he needs to be the champion. But as a simple promoter, he's really, really good. I mean, he comes from a big line. You know, of course, his dad, Jerry Jarrett, ran Memphis with Lawler. It's going to be something to watch. It's just from the business side. We'll see what happens. Did you know Toby Keith's actually a partner in it?
Toby Keith?
Yeah.
The singer?
He's one of the financial partners in it.
That's an old Oklahoma boy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey. He'll probably write a country song about that.
I'm sure he will.
Get somebody's mama out there in the back of a pickup truck, have him go out there and get in a race with a train and get somebody to shoot his dog. He'd make a good country song out of that. My mama in the front row at pro wrestling.
Yep.
I can see it on the charts now.
Yep.
Did you have any big surprises Sunday night in Payback?
Not really. Nothing really jumped out to me. I thought the main event was pretty good. Seth Rollins winning, that was kind of foreseen. I mean, we did talk about like some other alternative endings that could happen, but ultimately, I think at the end of the day, this was going to be the call. I think it was just an obvious choice, and also it really seemed to me that since they've announced the Elimination Chamber, even with the Payback pay-per-view there, the focus was always still at the Elimination Chamber. So very, very odd pay-per-view to have. But yeah, nothing really jumped at me and said, all right, I like that. I thought the tag team match was pretty good, but that's about it.
I was kind of surprised in the, I wasn't really surprised, but in the Cena versus Rusev match, it almost happened the way I predicted. Almost happened. I said it was going to be no decision as Cena would black out due to Rusev's submission hold.
No, I said that, didn't I?
No, I did.
Oh.
I did. You said Cena was going to win, which you were right.
Yeah.
But he did black out, and it was almost a draw.
That's true.
It was almost a draw. And then WWE creative. Well, it's hard to say.
I think you got backwards. Cena will black out to Rusev submission.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, but that's not true. Rusev.
No, but Cena did black out at first.
Yeah.
And then they had enough time go by where he miraculously revived and came back. And
Speaking of Cena, the Raw segment, I know you give like two craps about it, but it was absolutely phenomenal. I love it. And the fact that they're promoting him with Kevin Owens for Elimination Chamber is just incredible.
Actually, I was really impressed with that.
See?
Yes.
See, he's an independent talent. He's been in this game for a long time. He even said he did, and it's true. And one thing that Kevin Owens, I'm gonna call him Kevin Steen as well because that's his other independent name. He's a talker. He's really good on the mic.
I could tell that.
He's
Yes.
He's always had a sharp tongue. Man, Cena played it very well.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it looked like to me that Cena was speaking a little bit of truth at the same time. Like, you little punk. Let me kind of explain something to you. But I know it's still an act, but still at the same time.
Well, he may have been doing a shoot.
He might have been doing a shoot, but I don't think he was. But, man, it really walked a fine line to me.
Should we tell people what a shoot is?
No.
Or do you think people know?
If they're listening to this show, they know what a shoot is.
Okay.
But it's I liked it. I'm excited for Elimination Chamber now. For me, that is the most exciting match on the card now. The main event and the Chamber match itself really isn't doing anything for me. It's this match that I'm looking forward to.
What did you think of the main event of the momentary reunion of the Shield?
It is what it is. It's cool, but it's not going to go anywhere.
I think the crowd was really eating that up.
Yeah, the crowd was eating it up, but
I don't know if I won't go anywhere or not. I was looking back on some things. And I don't know if they really have any choice but to possibly go with a Shield reunion at some point.
No. Well, I mean, at some point.
You consider all of the pay-per-views since Hell in a Cell 2014. Every one of the main events in every single pay-per-view since then has featured a member of the Shield. Every single one.
Right.
In fact, there was, in this pay-per-view, it featured a four-man match, a four-way elimination. And only one of those people was not a former Shield member.
That's true. I think it's the first time all three of them been in the ring at the same time without the Shield.
Possibly.
So that's interesting. But yeah, the reunion, it will happen, but not soon. It's way too soon, way too much storyline development. I think you still got to do some kind, they're going back to the well doing Ambrose Rollins. I still think you got to do a Rollins Reigns. That feud still really hasn't happened. We still have not seen them headline a pay-per-view yet. So I really thought they could have done it here, but I'm happy with Ambrose. I think they're looking at Ambrose getting over better than Reigns, so that's the reason they're putting him in that spot.
Well, now, Dean Ambrose is going to be going up against Seth Rollins on a week from Sunday at Elimination Chamber.
Right.
And oddly enough, it was Dean Ambrose against Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell in 2014.
Yep.
So this will be just about a virtual. I wonder if they're just going to do a complete playback of that and climb all over the cage.
Well, it's not in the chamber.
Well, they may not start off in the chamber, but, who knows?
Sure. I mean, I guess if they lower it.
Yeah, anything, if there's anything we've learned from WWE, anything can happen.
Right.
Tell me this. When we were calling off our predictions for Payback last Sunday, did you realize we did not call the Divas match?
I'd be honest, I didn't even know there was a Divas match.
Actually, I was pretty impressed by it, to tell you the truth.
I'm guilty. I skip over the Divas matches unless it's Paige.
Paige is back.
I know. I saw that on Monday night. I saw that. Good
Yep.
for her. Good.
Got
to
another
see her.
Paige coming up.
She's hot.
Another Paige. And we got the, I would be interested in seeing, now that they have Naomi as a heel, how are they going to handle that when the Usos come back? Are the Usos going to be heel? Are they going to retain their face? Are they going to work something into a storyline where they have marital discord in between Naomi and her husband? Or I wonder how they're going to justify this.
To me, it depends on who they could build as faces in the tag team division.
Now they're starting to build up a fairly decent tag team family.
Oh, absolutely! The Elimination Chamber match with there's like four or five tag teams, and it's going to be in a chamber. Did you know that?
Yes.
So
those little pods are going to be crowded.
I know. I mean, good thing it's not like Kasich Kowloon.
Oh Lord.
That's interesting to me. So I'm really
be two
curious
peas in a pod.
Yeah. Well, is all three of the New Day going to be in there, and only one stays in?
Man, how are they going to work that?
They should. That way, the other one can't interfere. Just keep them in the pod.
Keep them in the pod the whole time.
Yep.
But when they open up the pod, all three of them have the ability to leave, don't they?
Right, they do.
Well, I wonder how they're going to police that, or if they're going to.
I doubt it. They'll probably just have them just sit outside or hang out in the ring.
I wonder who's going to be the first who's on the outside to climb over the top. Because isn't the opening at the top of the Elimination Chamber
No, there's
open?
no opening.
Oh, is it fully enclosed?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought there was like a what you would call an oculus at the top of the, like they have in domed buildings where they have a hole in the middle of the top of the building where it's called an oculus.
There might be.
There's your daily lesson of Greek right there.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Dailies, WB's Daily Almanac.
Yes.
There might be. No one's ever used it, to my knowledge, if there is one.
The chain would certainly be strong enough to hold that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can see someone climbing up there, like a Kofi or someone like that.
Yeah.
Very easily
climb out along on the outside of it, scale up to the top, and drop into that, and even do handholds getting into the inside of the ring.
Right. That'd be interesting. That'd be very interesting. I would like to see how that could work, especially if at the chain breaking.
Yeah. Well, it's strong enough to hold other people.
That's true.
I mean, they made, and even if it doesn't hold, that in itself can lend itself to some drama, as we saw in Hell in the Cell between Mick Foley and The Undertaker.
Right.
So even when the cage fails, it's still kind of exciting. Which I shouldn't say that because, man, that's wishing somebody to be injured.
That's true.
Speaking of injuries, did you see the welt that? Oh goodness, come on, Bill, think of his name. I hate getting my age.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. Usually you're right there to jump in, but this time I didn't give you enough information. It was a match between Barrett. No, this was on Monday Night Raw. It wasn't on SmackDown. Barrett and
I didn't see who he wrestled.
Hey, wait a minute. It was two on the pay-per-view, because this was carried over the next night, and this is when Lana came in the ring and kissed somebody.
Oh, Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler, thank you very much. Who did Dolph Ziggler wrestle on the pay-per-view?
Sheamus.
Yeah, that's right. It was Sheamus,
Yeah.
come to think of it. Yeah, Dolph really put up a headbutt that busted himself wide open, but they really...
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
They had the camera really looked away. I don't know why they have this thing against showing injuries.
Because the match ended shortly after that. I think he busted his head open, and it was like bro kick, done. Yeah, but man, he got busted open good.
Yes, he did. What is their problem with that?
I don't know.
I mean, it used to be if they were on network television, I'm thinking, okay, network censors stepped in. Okay, I can live with that. They're on the frickin' internet. And the WWE Network on the WWE.com website has parental controls built in where you can block that out.
Right.
So what is their problem?
I don't know. Maybe it would work. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Could be insurance, I guess.
Sure. I don't think it's insurance. I think it's
their
more,
insurance is high anyway.
Yeah, I think it's more of a trying to keep the PG air. I guess. I don't know. I don't get it. If someone bleeds, show it. I think more than anything gives the person character and a motive as well, to move on to the next match. I was surprised when we were talking about
Lana kissing Dolph Ziggler on Monday Night Raw. I was kind of surprised to see that WWE is getting a little heat over that.
Why?
There's some people that are really, really against this split between Lana and Rusev. They're thinking it's happening too soon. Me, I thought it was a great thing. I thought it was a wonderful thing, and I think it sets itself up for some potentially strong storylines for Rusev going forward, and possibly even a love romance angle between Lana and somebody else, be it Dolph or somebody else. I can see that blossoming out. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I'm with the majority. I actually think it's too soon.
Too soon?
Yeah.
Granted, it was pretty quick.
It's really quick. Not enough build up for it.
Well, like they were in the business of build up now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I just don't like it at all. They could still do it. I mean, this could be a total play. I think it'd be better if it was some kind of significance behind it. Like, for instance, if it was for like a title, Intercontinental title, and Dolph Ziggler had it, Lana's coming on to him, get the jealousy factor on. The next thing you know, ends up being a total work on Lana's part, and Rusev wins the title.
Oh,
see that
now
would
just
work.
like somebody once called me on this show, Chip, you magnificent bastard. That's actually not a bad idea.
See, thank you. I'm available for hire as a consultant, WWE.
That's actually a pretty good. Do you think WWE Creative has the cojones to do that kind of an idea?
No.
Okay.
Well, they've done it before. Actually, I stole it, so everything's been repeated before. But they did the same thing with I believe Deborah back in Attitude aired with Jeff Jarrett and someone else. So I can't take total credit for it, but it hasn't been done in a long time. So might as well repeat it.
No, might as well. Might as well. Barrett versus Neville. Now Neville won by virtue of a count out with Barrett. I mean, Barrett just hit the floor out. He was thrown out of the ring, I think, and hit the floor, and he just said, "Oh, to hell with this," and went on backstage.
Right.
So he was counted out. Neville was declared the winner. However, Barrett did, in fact, as I think Jerry Lawler predicted, reacquainted Neville with the force of gravity.
Right.
Because he gave Neville a run for his money.
Now, one thing I don't get is technically Neville won, but he's not in an Elimination Chamber match. Why is that?
Hey, that's right.
He's not in it. I don't get it.
I don't know. Maybe they consider him to be inexperienced to be in a match like that.
But you just put him in a match where he actually beat the guy, and now Barrett's like the sole bearer of this match. He's on the front of the poster board as far as to promote that match. He is it. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Well,
that's my rhyme and reasoning today. Is I don't get it.
I don't get it either. But now, because to tell you the truth, I really didn't think about it until you brought it up. But yeah, he's right. My only guess would be he's not experienced enough, hasn't had enough road work under him yet to be in a match like as unforgiving as what the Elimination Chamber has to be. And I'm just relying on secondhand testimony on that because, quite frankly, I've never seen a Elimination Chamber match before.
What?
This will be my first.
Seriously?
This will be my first one I've ever seen.
There's this thing called WB Network that we have.
No.
You could definitely watch them. They've had several.
Not on WWE Network. Oh, that's right. I can go back in time and watch them.
You could go back in time.
Oh, that's right. I can. And how much is that again?
$9.99.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You sign up this month, and I think it's free. People like me and Chip, we still got to pay.
Yeah. I remember when it was more money. Or it was like a commitment. Because I signed up as soon as it came out.
Yeah, and you said that you had to commit to what, a year?
No, 6 months.
6 months? Okay. Oh, that's right. It was just 6 months.
6 months. And I remember you complained about that, but
yeah.
I was like, I don't care. But I kind of got old of it. I've kind of run the gauntlet now as far as like things to watch. So,
now they got a new show coming up that even I'm interested in seeing.
Well, yeah, that's cool.
Swerved will be funny, I think.
Yeah,
I hope it's better than the one they tried to do with the talk show host
Springer.
Jerry Springer. Yeah, that
I
was
tried
a big
watching one of those
letdown.
episodes. You're right.
It was nothing. Don't waste your time. If you're already spending money on WWE Network, you will think you're getting ripped off if you see that. One match my big disappointment Sunday night was the match between I'm scrolling down here. Here we go. Axel and Mandel versus the Ascension. I was very disappointed in what they're doing with Sandow.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I really thought the Axel Sandow thing could work.
They're really taking him to a cheap level here.
I love it, but they should still win.
Well, they're treating him they're acting like they're not being serious with him. Here they had this wonderful thing going on between Sandow and The Miz, and Sandow was really starting to go over with the audience, and I mean really starting to go over with the audience really, really big. Now they're reverting back to what they had him doing before he signed on with The Miz. And it's just like, okay, we can take this old donkey out and dress it up, put a new bow tie on it, and people will like it. But the crap's going to stink just as bad as it did before. I don't see it working. It didn't work then. I don't think it's going to work now.
Right.
They got better costumes.
Well,
the costumes are better. I'll give them that. I didn't recognize who they were when they came down the ring. And I thought, I actually thought Axel made a decent looking Hulk Hogan.
See? I told you.
But beyond that, the wrestling and the performance went into,
That wasn't the greatest match.
I mean, the whole thing looked like it was a resurrection of all their old stars. It looked like a match between Hulk Hogan teaming up once again with the Macho Man Randy Savage, going up against the Road Warriors. Well, that's really what we saw. Just a downscaled, cheapened version of it.
Well, it's supposed to be.
Job well done in that case.
I mean, they're supposed to be Hulk Hogan and Macho Man, just younger forms. I think it's funny to me. I think it's great. The way they move, the way they act. I think it's a great way to kind of show what they can do as far as from a creative part, and all the film research that they have to do to get their mannerisms down, their move sets and stuff like that. I think it's really cool. Creative
to the extent of we're looking to see what other people did and we're going to copy that.
Well, that's the whole part. It's just a play. I mean, they're just a comedy act. That's all they are.
And you see, that's my problem. Here we have one good talent, good wrestling talent in Sandow, who has some very good potential to possibly be a main eventer, and they're just not treating him seriously. Yes, I think he could. Axel, no.
Axel, yeah, certainly not.
No.
It fits his role. To me, he's like the replacement to
he was named after the wrong car part. Should have been called Bumper.
Bumper. Who?
Because that's all he does is he works as a bumper.
Oh, yeah. Sandow, to me, he's like a Santino Marella. A good comedy act, and he does it well.
Yes.
So let him just make a living at, doing stuff like this. I think it's great. Well,
it'll be interesting to see what does come of that. See if they actually stick with the idea of doing the imitations. Imitation being the sincerest form of flattery. Well, Hulk Hogan should have been flattered as hell.
There you go. He should be.
And this wraps up our 94th episode of SCI Wrestling. 6 more to go, and we'll be hitting the century mark.
We're getting closer.
Can you imagine doing this 100 times?
I can't believe it.
And I'm going to try to have a new improved theme by the time we do hit our 100th show. It took 100 weeks for me to get some work done.
There you go.
But
About
by golly,
time.
anything can happen.
About damn time.
Next week, of course, we're going to be doing our preview for the Elimination Chamber. Hopefully, get some decent predictions down.
2 weeks.
Yeah, for this thing that's going to happen a week from Sunday. Wow, we're moving fast. Join us next week right here on this here dial on your computer for this little show we call SCI.